Hello, 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 my friends. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good whatever part of the day it is for you, part of the week, part of whatever it is. I am super excited to be back with my wonderful nerdy RPG friends for some wonderful nerdy RPG D&D action. It's been a hot minute. It's been, I don't know, a year or something since we've been here to play some D&D Curse of Strahd, and I am super happy to be back with my wonderful friends. I'm going to reintroduce everybody since it has been a while. On the top left, we have Archon playing the sneaky little Ulrich. We have in the middle the amazing DM Doreen leading us through here, or Dungeon Master, or Lore Keeper, whatever you'd like to call our leader in this crazy time. And then we have in the top right Mr. Jeremiah playing Tasso the Druid. I am of course Rand playing the bard Evander, and then my best friend to the right, Shogi, playing Galen. We are missing one for those who have followed a long time. Zach is not able to be here today because of work, but I'm sure there'll be some really good reason for Conard not to be with the group today. But I'm going to turn it over to Doreen or Archon. I think we're going to get a recap and say hi to everybody in chat. Thank you all for being back when it's been so long since we've been here. But it's good to be back, isn't it, my friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it really happening? It's a dream.
It's happening. No, so yeah, it's now like season 2 of Curse of Strahd. And we will go ahead. I am going to go ahead and give it over to Archon to give us like a full recap of basically everything that's happened, because it has been forever. So go ahead, Archon.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Be brave.
Okay.
Be brave.
All right. 4 weeks ago, a motley assortment of strangers find themselves transported to an eerie mansion and must work together to survive. They are Evander, the dashing but sometimes clueless half-elf bard; Galen, the drunken dwarf paladin with a strong moral compass; Conard, the aloof and highly self-assured dwarf wizard; Tasso, the simple but loyal shifter druid; and Ulrich, the young human sorcerer who is clearly the MVP of the party. After having survived their initial encounter in the haunted and dangerous Durst Manor, the group find themselves returned home for a few weeks, only to be transported to Barovia again, but this time inhabiting the minds and bodies of another group of adventurers setting out to destroy Strahd himself. But just before the actual conflict begins, our heroes find themselves transported once more, but now alone in the nighttime forest of Barovia, and without their weapons or equipment. After a close encounter with a pack of wolves, the party follow the long road out of the woods and find themselves back at Durst Manor. Here, they find their missing items, along with a welcome letter from Strahd himself. They also find their canine friend, Scruffles, somehow still alive. And while searching for clues in the mansion about what brought them to Barovia and why, Conard and Ulrich narrowly escape from the viney clutches of a plant creature they disturbed in the bowels of the now dilapidated manor. In fact, the entire party is rescued by the fortuitous arrival of a man named Laszlo, who tells them he is one of the Vistani, a group of people who inhabit Barovia under the protection of Strahd. He tells them they should speak to the all-knowing Madame Eva for answers, and drops them off at the village of Barovia. During their stay at the Blood on the Vine Inn, they mingle with some sketchy former Vistani women. Evander puts his performance and persuasion skills to good use to obtain information, and the group meets Ismark, the son of the deceased former burgomeister of the village, and they agree to escort his sister, Irina, to the safety of a far-off monastery. While assisting Ismark and Irina with the burial of their father, the party is accosted by a servant of Strahd, the elf Rahadin, who bears a message for Irina. Rahadin causes Ulrich to suffer some kind of psychic attack, and in retaliation, Ulrich fires a crossbow bolt at his purple assailant that narrowly misses. Rahadin promises revenge if they should ever meet again. After destroying a vampire hidden in the undercroft of the church, the party returns to Ismark and Irina's manor for some R&R. But failing to stick to the buddy system, Ulrich is waylaid by Rahadin and killed. However, he is brought back by some mysterious power, and Evander gets high on pie from Granny. The party then begins their journey to escort Irina to the monastery of Vallaki for safekeeping, but first stopped by the Seer's Pool for a visit with Madame Eva. She gives the group a reading with her cards and tells them that they were ultimately brought to Barovia by some unknown power as a means to end Strahd. But they are just the latest in a long line of groups that have attempted to do so. Nevertheless, she gives the party advice on items, allies, and locations that will help them in their struggle. But the reading strikes a nerve with Tasso, and he withdraws into a trance-like silence. While at the camp, the party enjoys some Vistani hospitality, gets some Vistani history, and Ulrich learns from Madame Eva that he himself is half Vistani. And after a bit of blood, Ulrich becomes frenemies with Strahd and gets a nifty gem for clandestine instant messaging. In an act of well-intentioned self-righteousness, Connard offers Madame Eva he offends her, we all remember that, he offends Madame Eva, and after another day of rest, the party sets off on icy terms with the Vistani. On the road, they stop to investigate a plant that the Vistani indicated may be of use, but it attacks the party. During the fight, Galen falls unconscious, Ulrich does some damage, and Evander and Irina both make efforts to determine who is the better rapierist. But in the end, both share the killing blow to the floral foe. Later that night, the spirit of Rose Durst returns to lead the party to a magical feast in the woods. Tasso chats with Scruffles, and a ghostly army passes close by. In the morning, Connard has a strange magical marking on his face. Irina chooses to stay with the group, and the party officially commits to their own dysfunctional fellowship. The party finally decides to head to Vallaki to regroup, but on the way, they'll investigate Granny's Mill. Will they survive this next encounter? But more importantly, will they survive the curse of Strahd?
Woo! Round of
done.
applause. Amazing.
Yeah. I have to say, I totally forgot about that conversation with Tasso and Scruffles. I'm so glad I did not go back and rewatch that because I'm sure it was.
You made me do it!
Yes,
that was
so
totally a Dragon Ball Z. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, and it was super well done. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Like, just quick. There's a lot.
yeah, there was a lot going on. But just for clarification, so you guys did finish your evening camp. Is that what you saw, Archon?
Yes. I don't recall exactly what time it was, but the last thing that happened is the party decided Irina is going to stay with them, and they're going to pass Granny's Mill on the way to Vallaki to regroup, get some more equipment, and on the way past Granny's, send in Connard's familiar. But we'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, his little squirrel thing. I think he has.
Weasel.
Weasel. Yeah.
Weasel, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a weird little weasel thing. Let me bring you guys back to the map. As a reminder,
Oh, let me get.
kind of grouped you guys all here. Because I recall you guys going to investigate, having a feast, and coming back and having a conversation about yourselves, why you're here, what your goals are. Does that ring a bell with everyone else?
Yes. It was like a weird, you have my sword, you have my axe moment, but way less noble.
Yeah, no.
Wait a second.
So, I do recall the feast happening kind of in the middle of the night.
Yes, we were
Oh,
led.
yeah.
We were led by Rose in the middle of the night to this little feast, or big feast, and yeah, I feel like that was what got us kind of our recovery, this big feast, and then we decided we have to really come together on what our next decision is going to be. I think.
Right. So you guys did get the benefit of a hero's feast, a heroic feast. That only lasts for 24 hours, so do keep that in mind. Now,
What is that benefit? Is it with roll? Does it give you advantage on rolls or something?
It gives you a lot. Let me see if I can link it in chat for you guys,
Oh, great.
because I'm not going to remember every little thing.
I
Sure.
think it gives us immunity to fear.
Yeah.
We get advantage on whiz saves. I think there's an HP increase there too.
Yeah, so bring forth a great feast. delicious, magnificent food and drink. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. Cured of all diseases and poisons, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point max also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. Again, it lasts for 24 hours, so do keep that in mind. Actually,
And-
everyone will roll 2d10 to see how much.
Oh, we already
it is.
did actually, unless we want
Oh,
to
you
do it
did?
again.
Yeah.
That was in the episode. I had a really
Then-
crappy roll. I remember that.
I noted mine as HP increase of 15.
All right. If you
I
guys
have no
noted
idea
it,
what mine is.
okay, we'll go ahead. If you have not noted it on your sheet, go ahead and re-roll.
No, I mean I have not noted it. I will reroll.
No, Archon. You said you remember.
Is it like 2d10?
And aren't you like your max
Like
hit
at half
points?
health anyway right
It
now.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's all crappy. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah.
You said
You have-
2d10,
you have, like-
correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
2d10.
Yeah. I actually don't see the map, Dungeon Master.
I just see kind of a white spotlight on a gray background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
there's like a grid.
table or something, a green
Tent,
something
maybe.
next to us.
You guys
Oh.
should all see it.
Oh,
This
I don't
is
see.
Yeah, we're on
Oh.
a grid
Wow.
with around a campfire and some green.
Oh, yeah.
Tent
It's like
next to us,
a-
maybe.
Tent? Yeah.
yeah.
A
So,
group
sometimes the maps are really big. Scroll out and see if you can see it.
Well, I see it. There's just no like features on the map.
And no environmental features?
No foliage.
Yeah, no, there is no foliage.
Well, it is heavily obscured by the mist.
Okay.
But should we be seeing what's immediately around us, like grass and stuff in our squares?
I mean,
I see a campfire, a
okay.
tent, and then us. And then
Well, I
white.
guess I'm.
Everything else is white.
And the
What if I'm-
campfire is giving off light, Archon, so you should be able to see.
No, I just see a grid.
God damn it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what's shown on the stream right now is a white grid with black lines and then a circle of light, but it's just all grids.
No environment to it, essentially.
There, I see a gorgeous.
I want to see it too. Should we log out and go back in?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Roll20 has been a little bit weird lately, but I'm wondering.
Maybe try turning it off and turning it back on again.
Unplugging it.
No, that takes an hour.
Plug it back in.
In the meantime, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this on the stream. Can we talk about like other games and stuff? I don't know if like there's like copyright issues.
Talking about
No, you can
games?
talk-
No,
What do you
I
mean?
don't know. Well, has anyone been playing that Lord of the Rings mobile game that just came out a few days ago?
No.
Oh, really? Well, never mind then.
Oh,
You
and
thought
knows what you're
everybody was
talking
playing
about.
It's really good. That's all I was gonna say. If you like Tolkien, you should check it out. No, it's pretty cool. It's like a RTS game on mobile devices, but of course there's emulators to play it on PC, which is what I'm doing. And they have all the IP from the Peter Jackson trilogy, so all the characters have the likenesses of the actors, so it's pretty awesome.
That is
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Just gotta live out my elven life,
You have to live out your what?
My elven life.
Oh, jeez.
You know?
The only good elf is a dead elf.
Wow.
Wow, Evander.
Okay,
hear
what
that?
about this one?
He's
Can
only
you guys,
half. He's only half elf.
Can you see
Yeah,
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
There we
Yeah.
go.
All
All right, I think there was an overlay on the other one,
Okay,
and
got it.
it didn't let me grab it and move it around to a different layer, so that was probably the problem.
Looks good.
But
Getting
yeah,
on the side of the road there.
it's basically the same type of map, although it's a lot more misty and foggy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Quite nice. Nice.
So have you guys updated your hit points?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm going to say, obviously, you guys will go ahead and get the benefit of a long rest. I think it's been long enough. It's early, basically dawn. However, the mist isn't quite kind of dissipating or anything like that. The sun is kind of just now coming up in the gloomy, cloudy sky. And as you guys are rousing, except whoever was on the last watch, Irina comes out of the tent, just kind of shaking her head, a little bit confused. And as she kind of looks around at all of you, just kind of, gauging where she's at, I would like everyone to just give me a perception check.
And we have advantage on wisdom checks right now, correct?
Correct.
Wisdom saves, not wisdom checks.
Oh, sorry. Wisdom saves. Thank you.
Yeah.
I saw wisdom was like, oh, please give me advantage.
Okay. So Tasso, you're the first one to kind of feel this weird crackle in the air, this weird energy. Sends the fur and hair on your skin standing on end. And you immediately look towards where it's originating from, which is right behind Connard. And almost immediately out of this kind of misty blue-gray smoke, this form appears. And in an instant, it grabs Connard and gives you a little wink before it and Connard disappear into this smoky gray mist.
I have a reaction or no?
Well, tell me first, and I'll let you know.
So I'd love to cast Thorn Whip and try to grab him as I see
Okay.
him.
You could do it at disadvantage.
All right. Yeah, let's remember how to do all this stuff.
I know, right?
All right, so 13. That would be to hit.
Yeah. It's just kind of goes through, like right near the side, but at this point, they're all just smoke. And you all at this point would hear this kind of evil cackle echo from where this person just disappeared from.
Evander would shout out, "What was that?" Like completely surprised and horrified, because that is not something he has ever experienced before.
Orc screaming, "Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Yeah. You all would see, obviously, Tasso's little thorn whip out and turn around just in time to see this visage of the creature. I did share it. Hopefully, you guys saw it.
Yeah, I
in
saw. I showed it on
Roll20.
stream. Uh-huh.
So
And the name too.
that's fine. It's fine. Just saw it, and like it kind of had Connor grabbed by the arms and the chest and hand over mouth, and then just kind of disappeared.
In chat,
We-
Explosive Ash said, "I ate too many pies, so I'm like starting to
Yeah,
see
I was about
things
to say.
now." You know?
There's gonna be
We-
more pies in your future, Evander. Don't you worry.
Oh.
We wouldn't have any idea, like, who or what this is, right? Safe to say that we probably haven't run into anything like this before.
Not that
That
visage,
form.
not
Gotcha.
that form. However, I would allow you. Actually, yeah, you all could roll history and arcana.
Oh, okay.
One or the other.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're,
one or the other.
They're both equally
bad.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
equally
know.
terrible.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I am here unless I get a horrible roll.
There you go, Evander.
What it?
Ooh, Ulrich.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
nice. Good job.
Okay.
can read.
Yes, Ulrich can read, and he has read a lot. Also, Evander, your father was a storyteller.
True.
I mean, what else are you going to tell around a campfire except for spooky stories about horrible monsters? And what comes
Horrible
up
witches
a lot,
in the woods grabbing little
Yeah.
children. Yeah.
what comes up a lot in a lot of fairy tales, but things of witches and hags. And so it immediately struck you, just looking at this creature, both of you recognize exactly what that is. And you can see it and know that it's a night hag,
Uh,
which is no bueno.
I know what that is. I read about it. It's a night hag.
What
Those-
does
And
a
knowing that, you both would understand why she popped up and where she went. You know that they can often travel between this realm and the ethereal border.
And meaning, and so, to someone who studied Arcana, that means you can just teleport, basically, right?
Yes. So you don't know the ins and outs of how she does it, how often she can do it, probably, but you know that they often traverse between this realm, the material plane, and the ethereal plane, but typically, as far as you know, the border realm of it.
In the stories that Evander would have heard about these night hags, would he have ever heard what they do with their victims? What happens to those who get taken?
Yeah, usually not good. You would have heard stories about how they collect souls and they sell those souls to the beings of the lower hells. You also
Connor
would have
has no
heard
soul. We're okay.
you also would have heard stories about how maybe they eat the people that they keep. But one thing that's always consistent with hags, you all would know, especially even if they mention hags, you all kind of know. I think it's pretty general knowledge. They like to make bargains, not necessarily good bargains, but that's one thing that That's why some people seek out hags, because they're desperate and they're looking to make a deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a story you'd tell about some evil thing that comes and steals something, and you must make a deal with the devil to get whatever it is back. So Evander would share that with the group and say, "This is bad. This is we have to. Does anybody have a way to find or sense where Conrad would have been taken? We have to make a deal to get him back."
I'm also going to say, Tasso, based off of your perception roll, you catch a scent in the
I was
air.
just gonna ask if I could go over there and try to catch a scent.
Yep. You catch a scent of pies in the air.
Great.
Does he tell everyone that?
Yeah. I'd kind of right where he was at. I'd be in there.
Then Ulrich is freaking out. Oh my god, I told you, it's Granny, the pies. She's eating people. She wants to eat Connor. I knew it.
Evander's
There's a
like, what are you
here.
talking about? Their pies are
And
delicious. They're not people.
Yeah. At this point, Armina kind of comes over to you, Archon, and says, calm down. We can figure this out together, okay? Just stay calm.
Okay, so if it was pies and it was Granny, then he's probably at the mill. I guess. Again, we can still see the mill from where we are, right?
It's kind of far off in the distance, but you can just make out like a light in one of the windows.
Like a Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's a light coming from the Frankenstein. Yeah.
I would like to calmly walk up to Tasso and I just go, Tasso lad, can your sniffer track it? I guess let me ask this. I know you said about the pie, but I don't know how, in my head, I imagine that you're super duper awesome.
Sure.
Can you also, smell Connard? Track Connard by a smell?
If they
Could you track Conrad by his smell, laddie?
if they left a trail, I may be able to find it.
Well, he's
The
a
way that
dwarf, laddie. I mean,
Well, the
we
way they
dwarves have
departed,
strong sense.
I don't know if there's a path to follow.
Dungeon Master. From what Ulrich knows about magic and arcana, would he know or not if it makes sense to even try and use detect magic to see if there's some kind of arcane trail, or does he know it's just one point to the next? There's not like a trail between them.
And I actually turn to Evander at this time and I say, "Your father told stories.
Yeah.
Did they turn invisible or did they disappear?"
From what you explained earlier, Doreen, I think Evander would probably say in the stories they would appear out of nowhere, they would abduct them and disappear. It wasn't something you could chase after. You had to make a deal. You had to find them and make a deal. That would probably be Evander's response.
And thinking back on the behavior of hags, so once they steal something from someone intending to make a bargain, do they leave some kind of clue to the victims to find the thing that they want to bargain back?
So, give me a straight intelligence check, Archon.
While he's doing that, I'm going to start walking circles, larger and larger concentric circles, to try to see if I can pick up a scent.
Do I get advantage?
No.
I'm nervous.
I'm going to say based off of this, and considering your last roll with the Arcana, the bargains that are made are usually obviously to the hag's favor, okay? Even if it's not always obvious. If they stole someone to kind of maybe as a bargaining chip and want them back, they will most definitely find you. And knowing it's a night hag, they'll probably find you in your nightmares. So they will, at some point, you would imagine they will reach out to you.
Okay. Ooh.
But, you know what, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. And no, there's no sense of how long that will take before they reach out.
You don't know. No.
Okay, but
Can I ask one more thing for Evander's remembrance? I don't know if I would need to make another roll, but Evander, after seeing this, he would be racking his brain for every story he's ever heard of a night hag showing up. And he wants to try to remember if he's ever heard a story or read a story or heard from his father about a story of somebody getting the better of a night hag in some way. Can I do a roll for something like that? I don't know if that would be something.
Yeah, give me a history check.
History, okay. About my worst stat, but that's kind of what I expected.
Ooh,
Highs and
that's
lows. Highs and lows.
unfortunate.
so easy to kill. You just walk right in.
Every story you heard is, oh, they're dead. You can't help. You're screwed.
I'm gonna say with that roll right now, you're just maybe a little bit too stressed.
Yeah.
Maybe given time to sit back and think back, you might be able to think of something.
Okay.
But as of right now, most of what you're remembering, it doesn't usually end well. But I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe calm down and think about it. Just take Irina's advice and calm down, and maybe we can make this work.
So Orwick will have relayed, the whole nightmare thing, the reaching out to the group, and then we'll be kind of racking his brain for any kind of weakness, or how do you deal with the hag? How do you overcome it? I guess that's kind of similar to what Evander was asking.
Yeah, Evander will agree and say, I'll think of all the stories and we'll come up with something. Surely somebody's gotten the better of these things at some point.
Or it's like, think.
Well, maybe you guys will think of something at some point.
I'm
not gonna hand you what you guys do, but
okay.
You guys at least know what you're dealing with.
Okay.
You would assume for the more than likely, there's probably a larger probability that Connor isn't going to die right away.
Okay.
You know that Tasso has smelled the pies
We have a
from
clue to
whatever this
work with
creature
at
was.
least.
Yeah. So
Do we know if the hags are usually, I guess, are more active at night since they're night hags? Do they not? And will they not interact with us during the day? Do we not know?
no, that doesn't ring a bell as far as anything that you've heard before. That they're only active at night.
Okay. Then and it's a little after dawn. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Ulrich will say, "Okay, so she'll come back in our nightmares to, make a bargain or something. So, I mean, but we shouldn't wait to go to sleep unless we take like a nap. That doesn't seem safe. Or we could just, I guess, go to the lighthouse. I don't.
The lighthouse.
I mean, whatever windmill. It's all the same.
No.
It's tall.
Have I picked up on any?
And again, Irina says, "Just calm down, okay?" And she starts to like pet your head like a child.
Have I picked up on any scent outside of the little camp area as I make my way further and further?
Unfortunately, no. The further out you go, the first thing that kind of dissipates is the smell of the pies, and then the second thing is the smell of Connor. It's almost like it's very much centralized, where that, especially for the meat pie smell, where that incident happened, and then Connor, it's just the smell of him around the camp, doing his rounds when he was on watch, that type of thing.
Ulrich just biting his nails.
What would you guys like to do?
I,
Keep in mind, you don't have to do anything. You just leave Connor to his fate. That's also an option.
Okay.
I don't think Galen would allow that.
My next question will determine what I do. I'll let. I'm guessing Tasso's preoccupied by what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But you did say something about the smell, so I'll go over to Evander and just say, "Laddie, do you think there's something between this hag and the pies you've been eating? Meaning the old lady."
And as he's asking you this, Evander, you can't help but like instinctively, like almost kind of protect your pocket. Where your last little bit of the pie is left.
You're precious.
Evander will kind of, like surreptitiously. I don't know how I keep pie in my pocket, but maybe it's wrapped in something.
It's magic.
But he's gonna be like kind of protected and say, I don't know about Tasso smelling pie, or I mean, sure, the lady seems a little strange, but she's generous. She gives away pie. Maybe we should go visit her and ask her. I'm sure if we go ask her, she can tell us that this is all crazy, and maybe she can give us more pie. I mean,
Oh, he's a junkie. Are we all hearing this?
I would be behind this
Yeah,
as
I
I
assume
talk to
so.
Galen about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do.
not be trying to be like
All right,
super
Ulrich,
like that.
despite the soothing petting, is like, I told you, it's her, it's Granny, it's the pies. He's ensorcelled. He wants more. Look what she did. She's evil.
I would look at Archon. I just go, "Laddie, are you absolutely, positively sure?"
Am I sure that she's evil?
No. Are we sure that the two are the same?
I mean, there's
Or
got
at
to.
least they could be working together.
Well, yeah, but the point is, there's some connection. We've got to figure it out. Something's going on. What weird misty demon appears out of nowhere and smells like pie? Don't you think that's kind of a weird coincidence?
I will look at Archon and I'd walk up to him and put a hand on his shoulder.
I'm Ulrich.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Archon. I apologize.
I'm taking it so
I
personally.
apologize. I put my hand on Ulrich's shoulder and I just go, and I kind of pull him in, and I just go, "Laddie, this might be the time that you start to watch over Irina." because I'm going.
We all have to go. We all have to help.
I walk up
Are
to the
you
group at this
sure
point.
that you want to take this on, laddie?
I mean, I don't particularly like Connor, but that's not okay just to leave him to whatever this is.
He's a part of the pack. We go
I
after him.
I turn to Tasso and I just go, are we sure we want to do this? Because either way, you could all take Arena to where she needs to go, but I am going.
We've lost one member today. We're not splitting the rest.
We can't split up.
Evander?
I think you should split up.
Who's talking?
Splitting the party is always a valid option. Like,
So you ask Galen, you ask Evander if he's coming.
I'm
Is that what you're
asking everyone.
Okay.
I think it's fair enough that you can see in my eyes that I'm
Yeah.
set.
Doreen, may I ask, with the way this pie has like been making Evander feel, like he always feels like super fulfilled and like this is the best thing and refreshed from
you have wonderful dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since it is dawn, you will have advantage, but I will need a wisdom save from you.
Okay. Before I answer, I will do this wisdom save, which I do have advantage, but let me do that. Wisdom. That's saving throws. Okay. I have -1 in wisdom saving throws. Advantage. It's a 19 though.
It's good that you have advantage.
Well done.
So yeah, so the pie has always, first of all, it's always been delicious.
Delicious.
Like that's just a straight up fact.
I've had like
That
2 or
is
3 different
hardcore
flavors.
canon.
All
Yeah,
amazing.
like there's a lot of different flavors, both sweet and savory. So they've always been good. They've always lasted a long time. They've always given you good dreams and helped you sleep in a very in a place that's full of living nightmares. Let's face it. No one's happy in Barovia, but this makes you happy. With that role, and with everything that's kind of happened here, you kind of take a moment, and even though just for like a second, you feel this urge to eat what's left of that pie, but you kind of push it down and say, you know what, maybe later.
Okay.
Now's not the time. Stuff your face with pie after Conrad's been taken by someone that everyone is thinking has connections to this pie. So you push it to the back of your mind for the time being.
Well, with Galen asking Evander, I will say, you know what? I'm sure this is all a big misunderstanding. She knows this area better than anyone. She goes from town to town. I think we should go up and just talk to her at the mill. I think that is the best idea. Granny is going to help us, I'm sure.
Okay. Do I believe him?
Well, are you lying?
I feel like with how much Evander is kind of taken by this pie, the person who provides the pie is like his dealer. He's gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. She makes him feel good, so he honestly thinks maybe there's nothing wrong and she can help him find this.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Shogi, as Galen, you know Evander very well. Okay? So I wouldn't even have you roll for this. This is just something I feel would be innate to your character.
Sure.
If you feel he's kind of being a little bit out of character, not totally himself, Galen would know that.
Okay. Okay, and then I will walk up to Evander, and in Dwarvish, I will say, let's hope so, laddie. Because if you're wrong, she dies.
Evander's a little taken aback by this.
And
Like-
no more pies for you.
In Dwarvish, Galen doesn't know a good thing when he smells it. Not like mad, but just kind of like,
Exacerbated.
yeah, Galen's a drunk. He likes his drinks. He doesn't care about good food, kind of that kind of thing. He doesn't think too much
At
of
this point, I have no more alcohol, so I'm pretty sober right
it.
now.
Wow.
And also mad sober that you don't have anything to drink.
I am flush out of any alcohol.
I mean,
Okay.
feel free to try some pie.
Lavender's not sharing any. He's not sharing, that's for sure.
Okay.
Oracle pipe up. Galen, can I talk to you in private really quick?
Sure, laddie.
Okay. Orc wants to walk out with Galen away from the party until they're out of earshot.
I'll start putting out the fire.
Yeah,
And
Lavender will help
then-
you clean up the campsite.
And Oracle just be really nervous and jittery and turn to Galen and be, okay, there's something obviously going on with those pies, some kind of magic. And Evander seems really strangely in favor of Granny and the pies and doesn't want to believe that anything weird is going on. So I think we need to keep an eye on him, because if we're going to try and go up against Granny, we don't know what kind of hold she has on him. What if he doesn't really help us, or if he actually tries to stop us somehow?
I will look at him, just kind of like deep in thought, and just go. I agree, Ulrich, that there's something that has a hold on Evander, especially with the pies. But his heart is true. He will never betray us.
All right. Well, I'm still going to keep an eye on him.
Good. Watch over him, in case. Are we aware that we are? At least I am not aware that he still has half a pie, right?
So he's kind of been
you
hiding
smashed
that.
Right.
When was the last time? Was this the one that I got from her back
You
in the
actually-
town? Because that was like a day or a day and a half ago, right?
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's.
How well does those preserve?
Have you ever had some of these old school meat pies? They're
No.
kind of meant to last a little while.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not going to last like a week, but yeah, you can.
Keep it in your pocket for a while. It'll be
And
fine.
also, we can like hand wave it and be like, it's magic. You already know there's a little bit of magic in these pies.
Yeah.
So they'll last, we'll say, a little bit longer.
And
But
if
no,
Evander's
they're not gonna last in your pocket forever. But it's
Yeah.
not gross at the
Gotcha.
moment.
And if Emder's
Do you-
been eating this and not sharing it, it's probably going to take him a little while to finish an entire pie,
Sure.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was relatively big. Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, actually, would it have occurred?
Right.
Oh, sorry,
Because
was
of magic. Would we be able to smell the pie?
it? Do we see the grease spot in his pocket?
that there's no magic to get rid of grease. Pocket section. But maybe.
So on that note, since Evander had this big pie, it's only been like, I don't know, a day. Would it occur to one of us to ask him maybe if he has the pie? I don't want to just meta it and ask him right out, but I don't know if we could roll to remember maybe, or
It's
what do you
never
think?
occurred to Galen. I'll be honest with that.
I mean,
That he still has it.
with everything that's been going on with Ulrich,
Probably
would
not,
you be
yeah.
paying attention to his pies?
To what
Now-
Evander's eating.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say for sure Tasso probably would be able to smell it. Again, whether he cares or not, that's up to Tasso.
He doesn't.
Oh no! Oh no!
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, no.
So my answer would be the same. That without
Okay.
him knowing that he has any pie left.
We'll just keep an
Yeah.
eye in case
If
he.
you want to, laddie, definitely do.
Okay. I guess we should go back to the group and make a plan then.
Well, yeah. Plan. We walk right up there, knock on the door, start asking
Uh,
questions. That's a good plan.
I mean, that can be part of it.
I just kind of slap him on the side and just go, "Well done. Excellent strategy session." I'll walk back.
Okay, I trails behind. Well, when they get back to the group, if no one says anything, Ulrich's gonna say, "Okay, so we're gonna walk up there and knock on the door, and then what?"
Evander will shout, It's
Start asking
Granny.
questions.
She'll be happy to tell us about what's going on around here, I'm sure.
I mean, just in case, don't you think maybe some of us should be hiding nearby or something?
Hiding from Granny?
Well,
You think this hag's gonna show up? Granny's?
Well, yeah, the pie. It's possible.
Oric's gonna look at Galen like,
I'll look at him, and then back at Evander, and then look at Tasso. I'm just going to say, does anyone here want to hide somewhere in case something bad happens?
She's not going to do anything. She's an old woman.
At this point,
Excellent.
Irina would actually kind of co-sign what Tasso just said and says, Granny has always been nice to me, and she's always sold her pies up and down the valley. I don't think she's a threat.
But Tasso, lad, you did smell something previous when we last met her, correct?
I smelled something that reminded me of human-like meat.
In her sack.
Yes, but I have not smelled every cooked animal. I don't know what is in these woods. It's the closest thing I could liken it to. It's odd, I agree. However, if she's running around capturing people, she'll let us walk in the door.
Well, you guys can all go up. I'll hide.
For the last time you weren't with us?
Well, me and Galen could go up while you and Tasso hang off to the side. Maybe you can miss something we don't see, but we could walk up and talk to Granny. I mean, Granny is nice. She surprised us. You all can at least, I don't know, be off to the side or something.
And maybe Granny sold pies to this witch. We don't know.
Fair enough.
Well, I can at least be off to the side, hidden, and use detect magic in case there's something magical about this place.
Just stand behind me under my cloak. No one will see you.
I'll stick to the shadows instead.
But under his cloak, it would kind of be shadowy, lad.
Okay.
But still, the plan is Evander and I will walk up and knock and talk to Granny first.
If she's there, she travels all over the place.
Okay. And then what? Tasso and Irina are going to be behind you?
That sounds like a plan.
At this point, Irina also says, well, if Granny is not there, it could, someone has to be at the mill. Maybe it is one of her daughters. Someone will, I mean, look, the light is on. Someone has to be there.
Do they know you, Irina? Maybe you can talk to them?
I don't know if the daughters know me. They very rarely come to Barovia, but they maybe probably have at least heard of me, with me being the Burgermaster's daughter. We can try.
Okay.
Then the
maybe.
three of us will go up and we will knock on her door. Tasso, if you could, watch our back in case of anything.
Always.
And then Ulrich, you watch Tasso's in case of anything.
All right.
But then again, she is an old lady, so I'm too
She
sure
is
that is
very old. I mean, she was old
she's
when I was
very
young.
old. So I'm to assume it should be fine. Is everyone ready to go?
Evander kind of rubs his hands together. Yeah, let's go talk to Granny. He's almost like maybe he can get some more pie,
Like, let's do it. Yes.
Let's go to the
let's
flop
do it.
house.
Like Pie Boy in chat said, he's glad everyone is finally learning the greatness of pie.
It's like, honestly, pie is pretty like spot on amazing. Like, it's one of the best things ever. But so you guys are heading out.
Mm-hmm.
No breakfast?
No breakfast.
Well, we had that
Breakfast at
feast
camping.
last night.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. It's still digesting.
All right. Hold on. Let me take a look at the map here. Oh,
I'm so glad that my total HP with the feast is now 17.
yeah. And why is that again? Remind everyone.
Because
You have
Ulrich
some
has
right?
some. Yeah. I got hypochondria, so my hit point maximum is halved, and I
Oh,
also
yeah.
am feeling masochistic, so I have disadvantage on Constitution checks and saves. It's gonna come in real handy. I can't wait.
No wonder you want to hide everywhere.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
maybe that's why you wanted to stay behind.
I'm not feeling so good.
Okay, so it's gonna take about we'll just say, I think I said an hour last time, maybe a little bit less.
Really? Okay.
To the mill, not the lighthouse.
Yeah, no, not the lighthouse. Just because the road where you guys can see it kind of cuts through like a small little dip, but the road itself doesn't go through that. It just kind of cuts around this hill. So you guys have to go around a little bit to get to the mill, but you do arrive in, let's say, about an hour.
Okay. Ulrich is
Ish.
definitely keeping his eyes and ears out for anything.
Oh, it's a mill on a hill.
Oh, there's the buzzing birds.
So you guys
I
can
guess?
see this one, right? This one has an overlay
this
as
is
well.
Mhm.
Huh. That's very strange.
Yeah, this one's
Okay.
just a picture, though, no map on this one, from what I'm seeing.
Right. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a picture.
Uh-huh.
But this is kind of what you guys see as you're approaching. It's a little run down. It could be in a little better shape. The mill itself, even though it's not animated here, is still slightly moving. It's very, very slow. But you do see a bunch of ravens kind of
Ravens.
circling over. Yeah.
Any
Okay.
blue-tipped ravens?
Blue tipped.
Not that you can see it from this distance.
Okay. Also, question on our approach. So there's a clearing around the mill. Are we kind of in the tree line until we get to this
Yeah.
clearing? Okay.
Yeah, so basically kind of what you see is where I figure your characters are. You're a little bit hidden. I mean, unless you tell me otherwise, I would assume you aren't just gonna like waltz in there. Maybe without taking a little look about where you're walking into.
I lean over
Oh.
and say, Ulrich, you pick a place to hide. I'm not letting everybody walk that far away.
So how far are we from the tree line to the door, the mill?
I am going to say, you know what, let's pull you guys. Ooh, I didn't have Irina in here, but let's pull you all into this one.
I need to buy some spell cards or something. I was looking in the book.
You can like print your own, like for real.
Yeah, I could.
I'll move you guys here to kind of give you more of a tactical view of everything. Hope I have this right. So again, I figure you guys are kind of maybe off to the side, and every square is about 5 feet. So I would let you guys kind of gauge where you want to be. Why, Ulrich, is your token purple?
I don't know, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, yeah.
It matches the the motif.
Well, I don't like that it's not consistent.
If we had a choice, I would have preferred to approach from the east of this tower. If this is a northerly up map, so that we would maybe be obscured by that set of trees or bushes or whatever's right there.
Okay, yeah, the only reason I brought you guys onto this map is just so you guys can make those type of plans. So feel
Yeah.
free to move wherever you want.
Okay, so could we assume for now we're among the trees?
Sure,
I-
whatever.
Figured it'd probably be somewhere like that.
Okay, so
I am also keeping an eye out for that crazy looking plant that attacked us.
okay, so we're kind of in the trees. Tasso, maybe, I don't know, is there a better place we can be to see the door, or is this good enough?
We could be up with our friends.
Orc is going to cast Disguise Self then. He's going to make himself look like the typical Barovian man.
Okay.
And I will...
Are you doing this in the open? I can't remember. Do we know that you can do this?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
He says his strange abyssal words and then becomes this other person, or looks like this other person.
All right. What are you gonna do?
Evander, I guess, will turn to Galen and kind of look back at the others hanging back and say, so shall we just go and knock on the door? It's a little darker and spookier here than I thought it would be. With all the ravens, that's kind of what would
Right. Yeah.
throw them off.
I put
Wait.
my hand. Oh, go ahead.
Before everyone moves, Orc says, wait, let me get up a little closer and see if I can detect any magic coming from the mill.
Oh wait, don't do it yet. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh.
I feel like I should wait.
All right, now you can do it.
Okay. So
Hit the token button. If you don't do it right, I'll do it.
okay. Well, first, Oric's gonna have to sneak up a little bit. Shoot. Let's see.
Let me fix something on
30.
the stream because we're not showing these things. 1 second.
Oric's looking around and saying, I don't know if there's... I've got to be like around 30 feet within the building and there's not a lot of cover. Maybe we can go around the back first, just so I can see if I sense anything. Maybe there's more trees closer to the walls back there.
I would like to ask, are there any, depending on how high it is, are there any first floor windows?
No, there are no windows on the first floor. There are windows on the second floor.
Okay. So nothing that we can peer into if we...
No, not on the first floor. In fact, I think the height. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, it's like 8 feet.
To the window?
Each floor is about 8 feet
Okay.
high.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
only windows on the second floor.
Yes, second
So-
and third, but
the
nothing
windows are
on
at
the
least-
first.
Windows
Okay.
are at least 10 foot off the ground.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah.
3-story mill.
Yes.
Okay, then Oric says, okay, how about we just, there's no windows on the first floor of this building. We could get right up next to it and I can use detect magic and we can just walk all around the perimeter and come back around to the door. And that way, you know, maybe I'll find something before you try knocking.
It's not bad. Follow me. I'm going to take a couple steps ahead of him and just kind of check for traps or anything nefarious around as we walk.
Okay.
Oric will also keep an eye out.
Feel free to move your tokens as
Moving
you
in
want.
I'm moving in this direction,
I
but
guess-
around and in the trees. So like
Okay.
to here and then in here and then
Oh.
in here.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
Tasso, no, come up. Wait, what are we doing? Do I follow you? He's hesitating.
Well, no, I was just showing her the direction I'm going.
Yeah.
As we're.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it.
Okay. So,
Is
you want
that-
me to roll perception?
Yes, please.
Oh,
So I'm gonna kind of walk around the back end of this here, and then across into these trees. Are there any windows on this side that would be facing down?
So the windows that you were able to see were actually like
Like over here?
almost like no, they were basically above the front door.
Okay.
So those are really the only ones on the second and third. You see 2 windows on each of those levels, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So I'm more paying attention to just
Um,
traps or anything in the area.
right. I would say based off of kind of where you're at now, you would just be able to make out, yeah, the line of sight's kind of good. A blue-tipped raven, kind of perched, not really perched, but kind of like hopping around in front of the door on the ground. And you can kind of see in a general area that the raven's kind of looking over back where the rest of the party is. Yeah.
And only Tasso sees this.
At this point, because that's where he is, Ulrich,
Okay.
you're kind of
Yeah, hiding in the
you
trees.
want-
Yeah.
yeah.
Has it noticed me?
No, it hasn't.
Mhm.
But also give me a nature check.
Yay!
Based off of its movements and like the sound, like the cawing that it's making, it's almost like a sign of warning, like kind of shooing you away. That's the intent you're kind of feeling.
So it's. Am I interpreting that as it's trying to communicate with the party, or that it's
Yes.
communicating to other?
To the party.
Ooh.
I put a hand up to stop Ulrich. I don't know how far behind me he is. I wasn't really paying attention to where he's at, but I just kind of put a hand up, like, stop moving.
Oh wait, so just so I was understanding, was Tasso going off by himself, staying in the
Well,
trees to go around
I asked you to
first?
follow me, and I was
Yeah.
gonna come like around this way and kind of make our way because you wanted to get to the other side. So I was leading the way and checking for traps as we went. So
Oh,
I just assumed you were following. If you weren't, that's great. But I
Or
did
did
say
it-
follow me
so-
as I walked.
because Ulrich was thinking to get right up to the wall and like go around just so he can extend his spell into the interior of the building.
All
That
right.
was my plan as
Also,
well.
yeah, you know who was following you though? Who we always keep forgetting about is little
Ruffles.
Gruffles.
Oh.
Yeah,
Scruffles was with you the whole time.
the
Yeah.
whole time. Yeah, he pretty much follows Tasso wherever. So yeah, let's not forget about him.
Can't forget about Scruffles. Can I? I'm gonna stop for just a second. I want to give this 5-10 seconds to observe this raven and see
Okay.
if it's noticed me, if it has noticed the party, and if there's maybe any others around that. I'm trying to discern whether or not it's communicating to us, like if it's trying to be beneficial, if there are others around.
Give me an insight check.
Insight.
And I'm gonna, because it's an animal and you're a druid, I feel like you should have advantage.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay. Based off of kind of where it's making these movements, it does look like it's towards where the party is. The vibe that you're getting is that it is a warning, like kind of like a heads up to the party itself, like go away. And the shuffling of its wings, it's kind of frantic. It's also kind of scared as well, almost like pleading, go away, go.
Well, they've been doing this little like scouting. I feel like Evander would have been kind of softly with Galen and Irina if she's there talking about. So what should we say when we go up there?
Oh yeah, Irina. I keep forgetting about her too. She was supposed to be on this map, but
Okay.
I forget.
Well, Evander would
Yay.
be talking to Galen like, so if Granny's here, what do you want to ask her? Like about the pies, or if she's seen this weird hag creature around? What should we say to her?
Well, if there is a connection between the pies and that weird creature that took your leader, then we should know. We should
Your leader.
get straight to the point, and then
Agreed.
that way we can move on.
So ask her if she's seen Connor.
No,
is
ask
our
her if
leader.
she has seen this weird creature.
Okay.
Alright.
But if she's not here, do you think her daughters will know?
Well, if they don't, then they should know where to find her.
It's true.
Do you not know where your mother is?
Evander gets a little sad. I haven't seen my mother in years.
My mother's dead.
So is mine, Galen. So, and
kinda
everyone
like-
gets a little
kinda-
bit
Yeah,
sad.
very sad, yeah.
I just been like
Sing.
putting my hand out of her for like a little like high five. I'm like,
All right. I look back now. Does Ulrich, is he looking at me or no?
Ulrich was very confused about what was happening, so he just kind of stayed nervously in the trees and kind of watched you but didn't follow.
Okay. So I bend down and whisper into Scruffle's ear. You need to stay. And you need to be quiet.
He kind
I
of like looks at you, and like kind of makes this mouthing motion, like he's like chomping at the air,
Okay.
and you know that as like a sign that he's getting a little bit riled up, a little bit confused.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
and
And I
he
will-
shifts nervously, but he stays put.
Okay. I look at Ulrich and
You come back to me? Because we're kind of
No.
far apart.
no, I merely look at you.
Through the
Um,
trees.
Through the trees, yeah. I'm hoping because you've got line of sight right here, and I do one of these. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. So I go. And then I bamp into a rat.
Okay.
And I see that happen.
Yes.
I'm like, and do I understand what the sign language means?
That's up to you.
That's up to you. That's why I didn't say anything. I didn't
Yeah.
want to say. I tried to say this, like I just did.
Yeah. I feel like that makes sense, and Ulrich would know. But if I need to roll to interpret that, that's fair.
Mhm. So I chose a rat because, and this may not be the right way to do things, so I want to explain to you what I'm thinking about doing so that you can maybe give me some guidance. I was wanting to turn into a small, kind of unassuming creature
Okay.
that I could scurry up against the wall
Okay.
and then maybe into the doorway, because this raven's got me kind of feeling a little weird. However, the rat's actions that are in the character sheet has advantage on smell for perception, but doesn't have any type of like better to stealth side of things. And so I'm trying to go in unassuming. Would it be better for me to go in as like a spider or a rat or something like that's kind of the direction I'm going? Small, unassuming, but I want to be able to see what's going on.
Okay. So you have a rat. That's what I'm looking at. What's already loaded for you. Let's just go ahead. We'll say you do your little rat thing.
Okay.
All right. Which, let's face it, this is a place that has a lot
was
of
my
things
thought.
rats would eat. So
Yep.
it wouldn't be terribly out of place, but you would probably gauge it's not going to be wanted. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably give you any extra bits on stealth that doesn't already come here, but just know that if you are seen, you're probably going to be shooed away somewhere.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, so I turn into a rat, and I'm not sure if I can do it
You
like
should.
Ooh.
like that.
Hit in chat, do exclamation point WS.
Exclamation point.
As long as you're selecting your token.
Oh, look at that.
Rat is typing.
transforming into rat.
Wow, look at his
He's
portrait.
a little rat. That's awesome.
There we go.
It changes.
Wow. Nice.
So
This is
you,
awesome.
Tasso, is now a rat.
Yeah.
So what would
So-
you like to do?
I am first going to kind of make my way around toward the back. I want to be slightly out of eye shot of the raven. I want to get to myself where it's harder to see. And then I want to get right up against the wall
All
over
right.
here. And As I'm making my way around, I'm looking for any type of opening I may be able to fit into.
All right. And now is probably a good time to take a break.
Yep.
And we will find an opening for the rat, figure out how Galen and Evander's feeling, and what the heck Ulrich's doing in this bush all by himself. And yeah, so like a little 5-minute break.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
Sure.
cool. I will go to a little break screen, and everybody, you all enjoy a drink and get use the restroom, because that's probably what we'll do, and we'll be back in five-ish minutes.
All right. Ta-da!